Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique real estate firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing consultants who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my real estate team member Mary Baker and I, along with the director of Boston Connect Real Estate, Melissa Wallace, provide you with our unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We like to mix it up sometimes, so not only will you hear our perspective on real estate topics, but you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of some of our real estate agents at Boston Connect Real Estate and the preferred professionals that we trust. Be part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We'd love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team or one of the dedicated agents at Boston Connect Real Estate to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with us at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And hello to all my South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I am joined in studio with my co-host tonight, Kristen Howlett.
Back by popular demand.
Back by popular demand. I know, we got all these people calling and emailing and saying, when's Kristen's coming back on? Where's Kristen? And here you are. I think it's mostly my mom. So shout out to Liz.
Shout out to Liz.
She's listening.
Number one fan.
Number one fan. She's listening.
I get to just
She'll be live streaming. Yeah, so you're back. You're here. Were you here last Tuesday? Yes. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, probably the Tuesday before that. You might be my new Tuesday co-host. So how do you feel about that?
I think I'll be definitely I'm not even talking even.
Yeah, come on.
I think I'll be a
staple.
Slight regular. Yeah.
A slight regular.
Wait, we need to do a public service announcement before we start.
Okay.
What? You have to get your Mega Millions ticket tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will stop before I go home.
I have not purchased. We did one a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try it tonight. I just sent a family text and asked everybody to send me their favorite numbers. I'm feeling good about it. I feel like we could win tonight.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm going to win the Is it Mega Millions or is it Powerball? Mega Millions?
I don't know what it is.
Okay, it's one of them.
Millions, Mega
Mass
Millions.
Millions, Mega Millions,
Powerball.
whatever. My mom says it's Mega Millions.
Mega Millions.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Well, so maybe tomorrow we won't be doing the show because we're going to be millionaires.
We'd still do the show.
We have too much fun. Tuesdays are our fun day, I feel like.
Yeah, Tuesdays aren't bad.
Yeah.
We're already here. You might as well stay.
Yeah, might as well stay. We do have a little secret coming out actually about our Saturday show, but we're not going to say it just yet, but stay tuned. We'll probably talk about it this Saturday. So we are going to be live this Saturday from 10 to 11 for our show, Talk Real Estate Roundtable, Sharon and I, and we have a big announcement. So we'll
can't wait to hear.
I know. But you have been so good about wanting to be on the show with me more often, more consistently, and sort of coming up with some great ideas. And you sent me an email, and I was like, I didn't even read through the whole thing because I'm like, you're such a professional that I don't even need to sort of cross-check you. So I'm just like, we'll talk about whatever you want. So you picked our topic tonight, but before we get into it, in case somebody at our listening to us hasn't heard you before, doesn't know who you are, why don't you reintroduce yourself or introduce yourself to our listeners?
Of course. Thank you. My name is Kristen Howlett. I am a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. Remind me, we're going to talk about the difference between a realtor,
realtor.
Yep, a realtor.
I like to say
Phil
it like
Dunphy,
Phil Dunphy.
And a real estate agent, because there is a difference. I've been a full-time realtor at Boston Connect Real Estate for over 5 years now, and I service the South Shore and beyond. My phone number is 617-448-4896. 617-448-4896. You can reach me at Kristen@BostonConnect.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, pretty easy to find. And you can always just reach out to Boston Connect if you have any questions. But I love my clients. I love what I do. And I would love to help anybody who needs some help.
Yeah, you are here to help.
I am.
And you're also here with me on the show. Yeah, so that's perfect. So why don't you go into sort of the idea or the topic that you wanted to talk about tonight? Because we asked for some help tonight too, right?
We did, and we got some.
We did.
So I do think that it's, you know what, it's not easy for you guys to run a twice a week podcast talk radio show.
Yeah.
To come up with fresh ideas. And I think a lot of times we do the same subject with a different spin, because it is hard, because we're not, some real estate radio show podcasts, however we want to categorize it, can deal with just other real estate agents. Maybe it's agent to agent talk, or like if somebody's just getting their license, or you want some tips on, prospecting. But we talk to the clients and our the general public, and about things. And I know I've brought up topics to you before where you're like, that's not going to work. So it is hard to find something that's fresh. And we came up with some new ones, because I think, it'll be fun to know what we're going to talk about, and then get the public. We want you guys to be part of it.
Yeah, we want it to be interactive, and we want you guys, you as listeners, to give us ideas and see, let us know that you're out there. We know that you are, because we hear from you, and we love that. But we wanted to be a little bit more interactive with our listeners, so we put out some questions today. So, Kristen, you came up with this topic. So, questions to ask a real estate agent when you are asking them to help you navigate the home buying and home selling process. So we put out a question on social media, both on Facebook and on Instagram. We did a video, which we took like 20 tries to do, but we finally got it. We got some bloopers. So we put that out there and just asked people to send us messages, comment on our posts, send us DMs, just of any questions that you guys might have that you definitely would want to ask when you are hiring an agent. And of course, we have a list of things that we believe is super important, and us as agents would love to be asked. Because it also gives us a moment to highlight the things that we do love in this industry, and we do really well. But yeah, this was your sort of idea. So I don't know if you want to start us off with some of these.
So part of the reason why I thought it was a good topic is because probably about October of last year, I got a referral.
Yes,
from,
I remember this.
Yep. So Christine Fisk, who is my trusted lender, I love her. She's awesome.
She's been on the show too.
She's been on the show. She's she works with Harbor One Mortgage, and she is fan-freaking-tastic. And she referred a very sweet buyer, first-time buyer clients to me, and we chatted on the phone a little bit, and then they gave me a list of questions. And I'm not going to lie, when I first got the list, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
There were about 14 questions.
With you when you got that we were doing our young professional networking group here at the office, and I remember you getting this text and being like, it was a little. It's been a while since somebody sort of interviewed you, I guess. In a sense, it was an interview.
They did.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of, and you know what? Even though at first it was overwhelming because there were a lot of questions, they were all great questions. And I was able to, one of them was, how are you working with first-time home buyers? And I do first-time home buyer classes with Christine a lot. I've done seminars. It's a huge part of my business. So I was super confident with, that's all they wanted to hear. I think out of the 14 questions, that was the one that was the most important.
Yeah.
So it is important because, let's face it, Aunt Mary can refer somebody, but when she worked with somebody, it may not be what you're looking for. So you really, and I tell people that all the time, it's got to be a good fit.
Well, I also think that, especially when it comes to referrals, I would follow up that question with, so my first question would be, hey, do you know a realtor that I could use? Asking for a referral. My follow-up question would be, when did you use them?
So that's a good point.
If they might have bought their house 10, 15 years ago. Well, the market is very different from 10, 15 years ago. I mean, we've seen it. And how long have you been in the industry?
5 years.
5 years. So even the difference that a day makes.
100%.
Every day is different, and but we're supposed to sort of adapt and sort of find ways to get through this and get through it together. And that's what I love most about Boston Connect Real Estate is like we really are like a big team, and we like definitely lean into each other. And I love that Matt Mahoney, who is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, he always says to his clients, "Oh, I have a team of people. Like I have people who work in the office. I have other agents. Like, and we really do just drop it. Like, if anybody needs anything, we really just drop everything and help them." And it's almost like when somebody puts in, because we have a private Facebook group, so like someone will put in the interoffice, we call it the interoffice, "Oh, can somebody cover an open house for me?" And it's like, "Oh, I will,
Yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah.
Everyone's like wanting to help out. But back to my point about getting a referral about an agent is I would follow up the question with, when did you use them? So, and do you know anybody else who used them as well? So
Yeah. You really should. It is, not to sound cliche, it is the biggest purchase that you will make. It is the biggest, if you're selling, it is the biggest, financial investment purchase that you will make. You want to make sure that the person that's going to go to bat for you is going to be knowledgeable. You're going to be able to work together. Let's face it, I'm a talker. I can talk. I would prefer to talk on the phone, but I'm a big texter. We'll talk about this, but when I have my clients come in and we sit down and we talk, I say, you can text me in the morning. I'm up at 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning.
Yeah.
That's when I'm most responsive. Don't feel like you can't text me, but don't text me after 9, because I won't. Even after 8, sometimes I won't answer because I'm sound asleep.
Yeah.
But I'm very much.
I'll text like early in the morning, but if I'm like getting ready, I can't do more than one thing at a time. So like if Sharon's calling me, or my mom is very notorious for that, so I know that you're listening, she'll like text me between like 8 and 9, and that's when I'm like really getting ready, and I'm just like, I cannot stop what I'm doing for the second.
Yeah. So that's funny. I know you, and I would not. I will usually wait until after, because I know you're in the office and you're settled.
Yeah, I don't really care if somebody texts me before. Just like don't expect me like when I'm putting my makeup on to be like, hold on one second.
Right. But communication, how you communicate with your agent is a huge. That's a big deal, because if you're somebody who's not savvy with texting, or you're somebody, well then you know what. Part of that communication has to be, hey, let's check in every day at 7:30, and we'll have a 15-minute conversation. And if it's by phone, then it's by phone. If it's email, by carrier pigeon, whatever.
Carrier pigeon.
Right,
send a raven.
Started.
So this is sort of this first question that we have on our list is sort of exactly what we were just saying. How long have you been a full-time real estate agent in my market? Okay, 2 things with this: full-time real estate agent. Why is that important?
Because you want somebody that's full-time. I know we get, I know. Okay, so we don't want to offend anybody. So this is just our, it's our opinion. You need somebody that's full-time in this industry.
And why?
Because they know the trend of the market. They know, for instance, right before we came on, we had a conversation about something coming up, and you asked if you should text the agent, and I was like, absolutely. In this market, we need to do everything we can to set ourselves apart, to keep ourselves fresh of mind. That's a big thing right now that I'm doing. If I have a possible match for one of my clients, I'm texting or calling that agent, because I want them to remember, oh, that was Kristen. Oh, right, we already chatted about this. It's psychological. I want them to just remember me. They may not accept the offer because of it, but at least they're going to remember me. Oh, she reached out in the beginning. Her clients were really serious. They are interested in this. You have to know what ways that you can kind of stand out in this market, because it's not the same market it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. Forget it. So, and you want somebody that is up to the trends and things that are happening and pre-approvals and everything that is moving so quickly. You have to be fresh.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right
I did
word
end
is.
up texting that agent. I have not heard back.
Well,
Well, yeah. So, but you know what? I asked the question.
We used a little. I'm on a big Dave Ramsey kick lately. I follow him on Instagram. I know he's kind of a.
Do I know him?
He's the money guy. He lost it. He was very wealthy, and then he lost it all, and now he helps people like get on budget and on track things. And somehow I started following him on Instagram and his daughter, and they do a talk show, and I get sucked in with the sad stories. But I was crying on one the other day. But anyway, I like him. He's got a great, and he's very pro real estate. Very pro real estate. So, and he says in this one, this is not the time to give a big break to your buddy's cousin who just got his real estate license or someone you barely know from a small group. A great agent usually has been working full-time in your market for at least 4 years. So if the agent's response is, well, real estate is my side job, then you can politely inform them that you're going with somebody else. Experience is key, especially in this industry.
Well, in the market that we're in right now. And we're saying that because there is such low inventory, so you do have to sort of be able to jump on something.
You can't wait till Monday.
You can't.
Nope. And we're seeing a lot more. I'm not sure if you're seeing this. I'm seeing a lot of houses are going even before we're not even getting to open house.
Yeah.
There's been 3 that have.
Well, I talked about this on Saturday. I talked about this on Saturday that there was a property that I was going to see, and before my showing, I got a text from the agent saying, "Hey, just wanted to let you know I do have multiple offers."
Was that East Bridgewater?
We're most likely, no, it was Whitman.
Okay.
We are most likely going to be accepting the offer before tomorrow and canceling the open house. And I said, thanks for letting me know. Since you already have multiple offers, just, I'm
going to bow out.
I'm bowing out. Good luck. And he said, good luck to me, too.
But didn't you appreciate that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sharon had the exact same response. But you know what? I wasn't sad over something that I didn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one, I talked about this on the show Saturday too, is that I was already sort of ruling it out because it was at the top of my new budget because of rates, and I just didn't want to get my hopes up and compete with other people. This is, it was at my max, and I have to be below it if I'm going to be in the game. So that's that. So I still don't have a house, but tomorrow's a new day.
I'm back to manifesting.
We're going to manifest this.
Way. So a full-time real estate agent. Listen, can people do a part-time? Sure, of course they can. There's going to be always that shooting star that is able to multitask and can pull it off. But to be honest, I think you need somebody that is in the trenches and is doing this full-time and is really going to work for you. And where they work too is very important. Location is important. They want to know, if I have a client, I love when people say, oh, I'm looking in Pembroke. I'm like, oh, well, lucky you. My office is in Pembroke, and we have 30 plus agents in here, 5 of which have their finger on the pulse of everything in Pembroke. So
I mean,
it's important.
It is important. Question number 2. I feel 2 ways about this.
We'll talk both sides of it.
Yeah, okay. So how many homes do you close each year? I'm just letting everybody know that, if you ask an agent now, oh, how many houses have you closed this year? It probably isn't a ton of houses. This
year is tough.
This year is tough. It's tough for everybody across the board because there is such low inventory. So can't close on a house if it doesn't go for sale. You know what I mean?
And I think
this year is a little tough.
And maybe a better way to phrase this would be, how many homes have you closed on? Because that, for a good skilled agent would definitely be in the double digits. And it doesn't, I'll look at it from both sides. You want somebody that's in production and that is producing. Yeah. And you also, and there is a stigma to, okay, somebody comes in and says, I sold 600 houses this year. Well, the first thing I would think of is, you must not have time for me in my 6 a.m. texts. Who's going to, you know what I mean? So just because somebody may be on the lower end of that production, that could really be
pretty early today, a house. And I liked that.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I'm trying to put the
Let's see. I'm
mojo
trying
back.
to see. Oh yeah, 7:08 a.m. You texted me at 7:08 a.m. Oh, because you saw that for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're doing it.
So, how many homes do you? So, I mean, a good question would be, how many transactions have you done?
Yeah. I also think maybe, I don't even know if it's on this, but how many active clients are you working with currently?
Yep.
You know, so knowing how many buyers you're, you know, not giving specifics because you really can't be like, oh, I have, you know, X amount of clients looking at this price range. Like, you don't, like, that's muddy water.
I had somebody recently ask me, this is a good question, how many people do you have looking in my price range? Because they were thinking of who their competition would be, which was a very introspective question. Like, if you have other clients that are in the same price range as me, who are you going to serve? And we serve everybody.
Your
I could always
fiduciary
have you write
responsibility. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of, you know, having Sharon as the broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate is all of our agents can go to her and say, hey, I have 2 clients who want to put in an offer on this property. Can you put in an offer? Like, can you write up the offer for one of them? And they're both not going to get accepted. One of them might get accepted, or neither of them will get accepted, but they're both not going to get accepted. So, you know, regardless of what happens, you're still getting, like, that's the point of being a broker and being able to do those things. And it's really, you can ask any of the other agents. You can even ask me, oh, can you put in an offer for me? Or, you know, that's just part of working.
Do you know why my phone is dinging?
Why?
Everyone's giving me their Mega Millions numbers.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, hopefully we win. Or will you guys win? Will you take me on vacation if you win?
I will.
Thank you.
I'm trying to keep on task here.
Okay.
So one thing that I will pull from this is great. Don't forget, experience, no matter if it's a huge top producing agent or someone who's just a steady agent, experience usually means an agent has learned lots of important lessons they couldn't get from a book. And that is so true. We say that. It is something that we talk about in our Tuesday roundtable. It's something that we talked about today. We learn from every single transaction. I learn what to do. I learn what works. I would learn what not to do. And I learn what I may change in the next time that I come across something like that. But we learn every single time. And you definitely want somebody that experience is key when it comes to, because again, it's the biggest decision that you will make.
Yeah, I agree.
Number three. Who will be my primary point of contact?
So why do you think it's important to ask that question?
Maybe it's a team.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of. So we could have phrased that a little bit different. But that goes along with communication. How are you going to communicate?
Yeah, like what's your preferred form of communication?
When I go through my presentations with my clients, we sit down in the conference room and I go over, how do you want to communicate? Like I said, you can text me.
But that's you as an agent asking the client. So as a client...
Oh, right. Good point.
Yeah. So as a client, what would be the question to ask your realtor?
How are we going to communicate?
Can I text you when I'm at work? Like, because, most likely the client is the one who's going to be at work or whatever. Can I text you? Can I call you after work? Can I call you before work? Can I call you after? Can I call you after I put my cat down for bed?
Crazy cat lady.
Stuff like that. I feel like that's the question from the client.
When can I call you after?
I don't want to, and this is because, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, is I ran into one of our agents' clients who they're actively selling their house now, and they knew my relationship with the agent here, and they were like, oh, can I say something to you? Like, I don't want to bother the agent. And I was like, you should be bothering the agent. And I'm like, I'm only using the word bother because you said it. It is not a bother whatsoever. You should be calling. You should be texting. You should be doing these things.
Yes.
She's like, okay.
Yeah,
she did.
100% true. Right.
So pick up the phone.
Yeah. So a good question would be, how are we going to communicate? What is the best way for us to communicate? Because things come up at 6 a.m. You get that email. If you're on MLS, you get that email showing that something that just came on. How are we going to communicate and help you get into that house?
Yeah.
Because you can't wait till Monday. You can't wait until your part-time agent is done with their full-time job, because it'll be gone.
It'll be gone.
Right?
Goodbye. what qualities or certifications set you apart from other agents?
I like this.
Okay, so I'm asking you, what sets you apart from another agent?
I am a realtor.
What does that mean?
I took an oath as a code of ethics. I band together. It's like a little fraternity, sorority.
You're a part of the National Association of Realtors. So a salesperson does not have to,
be a realtor.
Doesn't have to be a realtor, doesn't have the designation, doesn't have to do the code of ethics, still can sell real estate, but a realtor has that designation and is sort of held to the standard of the code of ethics. So
a very high standard.
Yeah.
And I always say it's like clear cooperation. We have to, play nice in the sandbox with other agents.
Yeah.
And, so they just gave us a few little designations. I am also a seniors real estate specialist in SRES.
You are? Oh, I didn't know that.
Agents have come, I did it over COVID. And that's to help people who are over the age of 50. And that's really it. I don't have any other designations.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a class soon, you and I.
Yes, we are.
We are. And we're going to get another designation, but we'll say that once we pass. We have to take a test for that one.
But these are great ones. Accredited buyer representative. These are all ones that you get an actual designation as a real estate agent licensed in the state of Massachusetts. We have to do continuing education hours. So a lot of these things are classes, but there's a difference between continuing education and these designations, which some of them really are fantastic. I know Sharon has a boatload.
Yeah, she definitely does.
Yeah.
But you and I and Trish Flynn, who was part of the Team Flynn here at Boston Connect Real Estate, did our class together at Mass Academy of Real Estate in Braintree. Charlie Burke owns that. He's been on our show before. We did our it was almost like a renewal in a way. Our continuing education together. We just spent the whole entire day.
We spend the whole day and we get our hours and we're able to hang out with Charlie, who's so funny and is super knowledgeable. But also it opens up to, I love to learn. So I will still, and once COVID, everything went back to normal and we got back to like lunch and learns where we can go and, we've done some really great, we were talking about one today that Steph Millette and Marianne and myself did in, I think it was in Lakeville, maybe Lakeville Country Club, and it was about Title V. And it was awesome.
Yeah, I know. I want to do one of those for the office.
Yeah, so any of those qualities or certifications, if that's something that's important to you, definitely ask, if there's anything that kind of sets them apart from the regular old real estate agent.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about football earlier, so, we can be like, oh, have you ever been the MVP of the game or the season or the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, next question. How will you help me sell or buy a home in a competitive market?
I love this.
Okay.
What are you going to do? Because what are you going to do aside from throwing a sign in my yard and calling it a day? Because guess what? Anyone can do that. And in this market, chances are it will sell.
Well, I drove by a house today that is for sale. It didn't even have a sign in the front yard.
Well, we're going to tread lightly on this one because we don't want to upset anybody. But there are things like the pictures. I mean, pictures. It's the first thing that I would, aside from this, how will you help me sell? I would say, are you willing to do professional pictures for my listing? And if they say no, move on.
Move on.
Yeah, because they should. If you're, especially, we talk about this before. I struggled with whether I'm listing a, $150,000 condo or, a $1 million house. I feel like I want my level of service to be the same with every single one. And that means professional pictures. Sometimes my clients are like, no, I just had one where I was there, the house was ready, and I ended up taking some decent pictures. That was at their request, not mine.
Not having professional photos?
Yeah.
What was their reasoning?
Because they wanted to get it on.
Oh.
We couldn't get there until the week after, and she was just like, let's just try to take the pictures, and if they come out great, which they weren't up to my standard, but they were fine, and it sold. So, I mean, it will, but if you, what different tactics is this agent going to do to sell your house in a competitive market? Mm-hmm. This is kind of a tricky question because we are in a red hot market right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to sell, but I
don't know about that. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. There are reasons why houses come back on the market after having an accepted offer. There are reasons why a house sits on the market for a little while. A factor could be its new construction. That will sit for a while.
Yep.
Another factor is it's not priced to the according to the condition that it's in or the location.
Well, that's one thing we are seeing is pricing. If something's not selling, it's pricing.
Yeah. If it's priced right, it's going. If it's not going, it's not priced right.
Even if it's not in optimal condition, it is still selling. Even houses that you're like, they're still selling. Mm-hmm. And the comments on this one were, are there very few houses for sale in your market? Are the ones that are on the market selling like immediately? Are sellers getting multiple offers? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you're in a red hot market. And you need someone who really knows what they're doing. Again, this is not the time to call mild-mannered Aunt Sally who sells a few houses on the side each summer. If you're looking to buy, you also want someone who knows the community inside and out and is an expert negotiator. Mm. If you're selling, you want to know how accurate their pricing is. Because the worst thing would be in a market like this is to sit.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to skip the next question.
Yeah.
I don't like that one. Number 7. Do I have to sign a contract and can I cancel without penalty?
I personally do not have buyers sign a buyer agreement, but I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just something I want to work with people who choose to work with me.
Yeah.
Again, our time is money, so I understand why it's a very important tool to have. But yeah, that's a great question. Can you sign a contract? And can you cancel without penalty? This goes for you're signing a listing contract if you're selling. And I have yet to use it, but I did hear of someone saying, let's sign this contract, and if you promise not to break it with me, I promise that I will check in with you once a week, and we'll do everything we can to sell the house, but just I don't want to lose you as a client.
Okay, so say that they do sign the a contract, so you're a listing contract. Can someone cancel the contract?
It would have to be mutually agreed.
Yeah.
Both. Usually we had this discussion today, now that they're doing it for 3 months as opposed to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Mine are standard 6 months. Yeah.
Because you just never know. I mean, we could sit here and say this is how it is every single day, but there's nothing that we can say that happens the same way every single day.
And we have yet to be in a market. Well, at least I haven't, where things are sitting and sitting and sitting. And on the listing side, there are numerous out-of-pocket expenses that the listing agent, professional pictures, marketing, things like that.
It's funny that you said that because when I first started with Sharon and Mary 7 years ago, I can remember I was the one calling. They would have like multiple listings and multiple open houses on the weekends and stuff. And I was the one calling, begging sellers, please let us do an open house because everything was sitting. There was just so much inventory. It doesn't mean that the houses weren't priced according to. There was just a lot of inventory, market, yeah. And I used to beg, please, can we do an open house this weekend? And they'd be like, well, we just did one last weekend. I'm like, just keep on going, keep on, come on,
we're gonna sell it.
We're gonna sell it. Yeah. So it's funny because now people are like, oh yeah, do one open house and you're done. But I remember calling every single week, please.
Yeah.
Can we do an open house? How about 10 to 12? 10 to 12? Can I do 10 to 12?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
we already did number 8, really. How will you communicate with me? So we sort of incorporated that in the other question.
Wait, let's talk about this because I don't feel like So this says, it's typical for an agent to have you sign an exclusive listing or buyer's agreement that lasts for a specific period, but be leery of an agent who wants you to sign a lengthy contract you can't break but allows them to get out. Ask if you can cancel the contract without a penalty if you're not satisfied with their service. Some agents will charge a termination fee to cover out-of-pocket marketing expenses. And I don't think necessarily that's a bad thing because if an agent is, shelling out some money for the marketing expenses up front, but that's a conversation that you have at the beginning, not halfway through.
Oh, we have a listener. Hi, Nanu. It's Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Yeah, he was wondering. He called Mark and said, where's Sharon? Sharon's not on the show. No, we have Kristen. It's Kristen and I.
Frank, it's
Francois.
me tonight.
Francois. I know. I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. And then Sharon texted me and said, home sellers sell for 6.8% more minimally when using an agent. So,
Love it.
Love it. We have some listeners tonight.
All right, so wait, let's talk about, so the next one, how will you communicate with me? We kind of covered that
we
with
already
the other
covered
one.
that. Yeah.
But this is another one I liked, this too, is number 10.
Yeah, I do like that one.
You should ask them for references or reviews or, ask to see a list of, and funny, I was in here on Saturday working when it was beautiful, and that's something that I did. I did a beauty sheet for myself with a list of all of the my reviews from people. So now I have it on a sheet. It's going into my marketing, and it's a great little resource. So people can, everyone can look online, but this is a good tangible, they can see it and see what great things people are saying about you.
We do have a couple agents who commented on your video that you posted of us. Finally, the one video that we were able to do. I can't wait to do a reel on our bloopers. But these are all full-time realtors here at Boston Connect Real Estate. So first one is from Donna Bagney, who has been here since the beginning and worked with Sharon at another company before here. But Donna Bagney says, do they have another job? You commented back and said, do you work full or part-time? We covered that in the beginning of the show. But yes, very important. Like, do you have another job? I feel like it's a pretty simple, easy question to ask. And nobody should be offended by that.
Nope, not one bit.
Sharon McNamara, broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, she said, do they have a network of people who they can lean into? You responded with, do you have a list of preferred vendors?
Yes.
I think that's super important because especially for first-time home buyers, they might not know, I have to have X, Y, and Z taken care of every year to maintain it. Do you have an HVAC person? Do you have an electrician? Do you have a plumber? Do you have a whatever?
And that's something we have, like you said about the interoffice, that's our first, if we don't have somebody in our own, bucket of business cards of people that we've used, we always go to the interoffice. We all do. And we get, maybe sometimes 3 or 4 of the same names, but that's something that we're committing to get back on track with an updated vendor list for all of our clients, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Susan Bollinger, again, these are all full-time realtors. They are realtors. We all have to be realtors here at Boston Connect Real Estate. We sort of answered this earlier, but her question was, are they a realtor or a real estate agent? Many people don't know that there's a difference. Also, many people don't understand why it's important to hire someone who is a realtor. So we did go over some designations. We might be getting some more designations hopefully by the end of this year. But yeah, there is an important, and you ask the question, do you have any designations? If they say what, then they probably don't do this full time. If they don't know whatever designation is. Michelle Fay said, why should I choose you and your brokerage over XYZ?
I love that one.
Yeah. So why should someone choose you over somebody at another brokerage?
Well, besides the obvious that I'm awesome, B would be, like Matt Mahoney says, because we have this team of professional people that work in this office. We have a fabulous reputation at Boston Connect. We are all very like-minded. We are client-focused, like truly, and again, I'm not just saying that, we all are. We want to do a good job. And really, at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need somebody who's not about the numbers, but about the experience. And
and
that's what we are.
So Ginny Wandell, who is a full-time realtor here, she hosted this week's Tuesday Roundtable. So we have like an open discussion on Tuesdays. One of our agents in the office will come up with a topic and either teach something or open the discussion up to everybody. And today we were talking about just like different personalities in some of our clients and, overcoming some obstacles. And you just took a picture of me and I think my mouth is wide open. And something that I said in the, something that I said there, sorry, we're taking a picture. Something that I said today was, no matter if you've been in this industry for, a couple years or forever, like, everybody here at Boston Connect Real Estate, like, we're always learning and teaching each other. So we're learning from each other, we're teaching each other. The agents who have been here for a long time have a lot to teach and a lot to learn. The agents who haven't been in the industry for very long have a lot to teach and a lot to learn too. So, people can be stuck in their ways, and or they're open to new challenges or open to learning new ways and stuff like that. So
I think that's my favorite part, is that somebody like Donna, who is, true blue and still does things her way, but she's super open to, changing and doing and adapting. And I'm sure it's not easy for her because she's very regimented.
Yeah.
She has her files.
Yeah. And I give, she's very regimented, very much like, and she does everything the right way. I mean, that's the thing. I will give kudos to Tracy Grady, half of the Grady team. We've implemented a lot of new things in the past maybe 2 years here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and she's one of the first people to be like, I want to learn it. I want to do it. I want to do, like, I'll be here. I'm doing it. I'm all in.
100%.
And you are the same,
I say 100% a lot. 100%. I'm going to start saying totally.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
50%.
10%.
10%.
Wait, did you have other questions from people?
I might, but we only have 5 minutes, so I want to make sure that you give your contact information out again before we sort of recap our show.
Well, let's recap and talk about really the importance of hiring and interviewing a competent professional, real estate professional, to guide you on your home buying, purchasing journey.
And do you happen to know contact information to one of those agents that you are referring to?
Her name is Kristen Marie Howlett.
Oh, Marie Howlett. Mm-hmm.
Kristen M. Howlett. Her phone number is 617-448-4896, 617-448-4896. You can usually see me in Stop and Shop, sometimes at lunchtime. Hit me up over there. Yeah. Again, Kristen at BostonConnect.com, Facebook, Instagram. That's about all I'm on.
I do hear all the time, oh, I saw you walking to or from Stop and Shop from your office or to your office all the time. I hear that all the time in the outside world. I'm just like, wow, I am a creature of habit.
Yeah, we're pretty pathetic when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I made a ham and Swiss sandwich today.
I did eat leftovers because I did cook dinner last night, so I ate leftovers. So
But again, we have 4 minutes to go. And really, the moral of the story of this is, do not feel like you cannot. You had such a good point earlier. If somebody is offended by you asking these questions, they probably are not going to be a good fit for you.
I think my final thought is commit to someone who's committed to you.
Love it. Love it.
That's in all aspects of life. Commit to somebody who's committed to you.
Yeah. Yeah. You want somebody.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what? It is not easy. Sometimes I wonder if I share too much, or because I feel like okay. Here's something with me is also like, once we work together, I'm all in. Like we're in love. We're in love. We're texting.
We're dating. We're doing this thing. We're finding you a house. I'm coming over for a glass of wine once everything is settled.
Oh, we are.
We're doing this. We're friends for life.
We are friends for life because I'm moving your stuff. I'm taking care of your dogs and your cats, and I'm cleaning your toilets, and I'm doing
I don't know
everything.
if you should put that out there.
I have clean toilets.
I know, but don't offer your service like that for everyone.
Just telling you, I'm a full service realtor. That's my designation.
Full service realtor. Okay, final thought. What do you have to say?
Don't put me on the spot like that.
All right, whatever. If you have any questions for Kristen, because you'll be calling Kristen to hire for...
Interview.
Yeah,
interview me.
If you want to interview Kristen, what's your phone number one more time?
617-448-4896.
And you can also find all of her contact information on bostonconnect.com. You can listen to any of our past shows on talkrealestateroundtable.com, or you can go to your podcast app or wherever you listen to podcasts and type in Talk Real Estate Roundtable. We're so cool. You can even type in our names: Melissa Wallace, Sharon McNamara, Kristen Howlett, Boston Connect Real Estate, and we'll pop up. We're there.
Another thing I want to say too is we should encourage everybody. Listen, if there's a topic you want to discuss, you want Melissa to
put on our list,
reach out, because I feel like it, like we said earlier, it is hard to, come up with some fresh ideas, but we kind of need some new blood to kind of,
We're in the game, and we're doing this for the long run. So if you stick with us, we'll stick with you, right? If you commit to us, we'll commit to you. Yeah.
Maybe you could know what our topic's going to be for the next week, and we could bring it up. Oh, Saturday.
Yeah, we'll bring it up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We are going to be back here live in studio on Saturday from 10 to 11. Thank you so much, and thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, Melissa. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Bye, George. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Goodbye,
Take care.
everyone.